On September 23rd, 2021, I had the pleasure in meeting Taylor Coit, UTA student, journalism major, and a reporter for the Shorthorn. We discussed so many things. Her story was compelling. She talks about her career goals and aspirations, some of the hardest moments in her life, being compared to others, and most importantly, how she's able to navigate being a full-time college student and preparing for graduation. So join us and let us talk about how it is to be a junior in college, work-life balance, seeking validation from family and friends. Enjoy. Good morning. Today I'll be talking with Taylor, a junior at UTA, about her life and asking her a few questions. Hello, Taylor.
Hi. Hold on, did you hear me? Hi. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
All right. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in LA for a good part of my life until I was about 12. And then I moved here because my dad got a job here. So I've been here for a hot minute now. I lived in Grand Prairie, but I went to Mansfield schools because it was weird because the way that zoning is, I was closer to Mansfield ISD than Grand Prairie. I don't know why. So I ended up going to Mansfield middle school and high schools. So, and now I go to UTA for college now.
Okay. What made you want to come to UTA?
Mainly because it's closer. I was at UT Austin my freshman year. But because of how expensive it was and I just couldn't afford to live in the dorms any longer, I thought if I just come here I can cut a lot of costs because I already owe enough money to them anyway once I graduate. So I just thought here would just be closer and I can just literally commute to and from. I live 15 minutes away. I do not live far.
Oh, okay. Why did you choose to do journalism?
It was something in the back of my mind that I wanted to do since middle school, actually, but I didn't think it would get me anywhere, so I did pre-med instead, and then found out I hated pre-med. So then I switched to journalism, but I was always told I was a good writer, but I would never thought anything of it. They were like, you should do writing for a living, and I was like, I don't think so. I should have listened to those people, but I'm glad I did now that I switched over. But I think I like journalism mainly because you learn a lot from it on the job and off the job. And you're always doing something. You're never bored. And I'm the type of person that easily gets bored.
Yeah.
So I feel with this profession, I could never get bored of it. And I can do things, learn new things, go places. It seems like a fun job. It's a serious job, but it seems like a fun job.
Awesome. Okay. Do you have a job outside of school? And if so, where?
I used to, not anymore. Now I just work at the school publication now. But before I used to have a couple of jobs. I worked at IHOP, Chipotle. Where else did I work? I think I worked at the mall at one point. But other than that, that's about it.
How do you maintain a good work-life balance?
Through trial and error. Trial and error. It was mainly me trying different methods to see which worked, which the one that I'm currently doing now actually kind of works. I just try to plan my week out, and that's something I'm trying to do because my organization skills and time management are absolutely terrible. So I've been trying to structure my life as to spend half of my day doing schoolwork while the other half also doing my job at the same time, and that's kind of helped. If I just keep track of time, I think that's kind of helped with work and school balance so far. Hopefully it works for the rest of the semester, but it's worked for 2 semesters in a row. Yeah. So I hope this works for a third time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Taylor, and this concludes our interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay. So this is the follow-up with Taylor. So my first question to you, Taylor, is what was the hardship that you had to overcome or during college?
During college?
Yeah.
For the majority of horror movies,
I think really a transition from being a STEM student to now doing liberal arts was a big thing for me because I kind of kept it a secret for a while that I wasn't doing well in pre-med, so I lied to my family for a good year of saying, oh yeah, I'm doing pre-med, I'm doing microbiology, I'm doing great in my classes, when in all actuality I was doing the complete opposite. And then I went through another like wave of like depression because of it, and I pretty much kept that hidden for so long because I have a hard time opening up. That's something I'm working on. But my parents and everyone in my family was proud because I was like, my goal really was, since no one in my family was a doctor, that could be something I could carry on and say, hey, I can be the first doctor. I'm smart enough. I did all this in high school. I have like a bright future ahead of me. So when all of that was falling down and I was failing, I felt like a failure. And then I think, well, maybe I wasn't trying hard enough. Maybe if I do this and I do that, and I did. But maybe it was just a sign that this isn't what you should be doing. Like, you're not failing on purpose. It's just you could do better somewhere else. And so for a while, like, I was really contemplating, like, changing my major for a while. I went to academic advisors at UTA. I don't know how many career tests to figure out where else to go, because I didn't know where else to go. Because my counselors would always say, well, what is something you like to do? And I had to think in my mind, I'm like, what is it? I don't remember what I like to do anymore. I dedicated my life doing this. I don't remember what I like to do anymore. So I don't know, that kind of had me thinking for a while. Though there was one person that did know I was thinking about changing, and that was my grandmother when she was still alive at the time.
It's a great movie.
She basically advised me in saying, well, Taylor, you used to do a lot of things. How do you not remember what you like to do? And it made me think, yeah, why don't I remember? And then I had to think, I was too busy focusing on this or being something or trying to be something that I probably shouldn't be. Or me trying to pursue something to seek validation from my family. That was the main reason. I think mainly because, you know, most of my cousins are older, and one of my cousins, she's like really successful. She went to college. She has like a high-paying job. She has all of this, and I love her to death. I do. But sometimes whenever my parents praise her, they forget about me. And sometimes they usually question, well, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Why can't you be like so-and-so? And so I kind of was all my life living in her shadow. Did I tell her? Absolutely not. But that was pretty much my entire life was, well, what can I do to make my parents actually be proud of me for something? So if I do this, I'm like, yeah, they can finally be proud of me and they can stop talking about so-and-so, and then I can finally get the recognition. But it hurt me more than I thought. So then I was like, maybe I should switch gears. Maybe my grandma has a point. So I was thinking, and for some reason I found like one of these old stories I used to write when I was a kid. Because in elementary school, they used to have this, I don't remember what it's called anymore, but they used to have like this little young writers competition. It was like in our school district. And basically you would write and submit a story to the school district, and if you win, you basically get to go to this workshop, which was like like over the weekend or something. It was always at some random school. You would talk to like a famous author, and basically it was about I barely remember anymore, but your story would get picked. They would actually publish it, and I actually have like a published copy of the old book I used to write like in the second grade. And then you basically get an autograph signed by whatever author came. I think the author of Judy B. Jones actually came to my first one. I had something signed by her, but I can't find it anymore. I think I lost it during the move. I'm so mad. I had her sign one of my Judy B. Jones books. But that was probably a great experience for me. But like I said, I did so much when I was younger. I couldn't like remember what I did. But then in high school, I kind of dabbled in writing a little bit because I had a Wattpad phase at one point, but I never wrote anything on Wattpad. I just like reading it and wrote my own version, but I kept it with myself. And then my friends always said, hey, you're a good writer. You should do this. And I'm like, no. And I mean, all those signs probably pointed to me like I should have done it. And even my sister said, you should do something with writing. I can tell you don't like what you're doing. So I kept that secret for a while until I finally told my parents, I'm going to change my mind. But I also had to think to myself, like, at the end of the day, whenever I graduate college, my name's going to be on the degree and not theirs.
Right.
Which means I can do whatever I want with my degree because it's my name on it, not there. It's not my mom's name. It's not my dad's name. It's mine. So whatever I choose to do with it, something I worked hard on, I might as well do something I'd actually like and something I'm genuinely good at. So that's why I switched. Glad I did. Best decision I ever made.
Yeah. So, you mentioned that, you wanted to seek validation, and also, you were planning on being a doctor, I kind of related to that. But if you were to go to like pursue your PhD or master's degree, would you?
I mean, I still plan on doing it now, but I'm not entirely sure on what I want to do yet. Probably communications, for now at least, until I come up with something else. But that's like as far as I come up with as far as like a master's degree, or at least like planning on majoring in it. I haven't thought that much farther into it, but that's all I think of right now.
Okay. So let's talk about, you mentioned also that you had a writing or something published as a kid. Are you planning on doing any publications or any books in the future with your degree?
That would be cute that'd be like a nice little hobby. I could do like my own little autobiography maybe like later down the line if I become famous enough. Then I'll like write my own little life story. Like, here's a little autobiography of my life, just spilled out there. That would be funny. I actually thought about that. Like, what if I just write up my own book in the future? That would be cute.
That would be awesome. So, like, what is like a self-care routine that you do just to kind of, calm down, or, if classes are very overbearing, what is something that you do to kind of be a stress reliever?
Listen to music and take a nap. Like, as soon as I get home, I just go in my bed and sleep. Like, sometimes if I just take a nap and I wake back up, like, I am de-stressed, and like my mind is clear enough so I can just work again. Sometimes I have to force myself to walk away from my desk, and that comes with schoolwork and even like my job working on college newspaper. I have to literally walk around and step out and just leave for a second. Like, my eyes hurt from staring at a computer screen for too long, so I'm like, okay, this is a sign I need to stop. You need to go walk and like take a break or take a nap, do something, and then like come back when your mind's clear. I have to literally force myself to get up. I'm so serious.
No, me too.
Like, it's just like, I can see it.
So another question I asked is because, we are juniors in college, and, we're trying to find jobs and budget and all this other stuff and just prepare ourselves for graduation. So I have one question for you. How are you able to budget, or how are you able to save during college, or what's that like for you?
I try. Retail therapy is my weakness. I have to say that. If I have to convince myself, like, I don't need these, I had to like teach myself to buy things you need, not things you want. But there's so many wants, not that many needs. But I think mainly I just try to set a goal for how much to spend a week. And once I reach that cap, I'm like, okay, you need to stop. If you need to buy anything else, it's only for an emergency. But as far as like anything else, like, I try to save, like, even on food here. Like, sometimes I'll bring food from home or drinks from home. That way I don't have to like go on campus and buy food. But if I don't wake up early enough, I don't have time to make me anything. But I try to like bring my own lunches, or when it comes to parking on Sundays, I try to like not park in the parking lot. I technically cheat and park somewhere else sometimes. It's worth the walk, but I don't have to pay that parking fee.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have a semester parking pass yet, because I thought, like, I don't know how long we'd be over here, but now it's official. I'm like, shoot, I need to buy one now. Other than that, that's it. I think the only thing that's really eating up my money right now is gas, mainly because my car cannot hold a gas tank for shit right now. It can't hold it for crap. Oh my god, I need to get it fixed or something. My dad said there's something wrong with like the gas tank or something, and I'm like, whatever it is, figure it out, because I'm about tired of spending money on this dang car to get gas.
Not even good or great.
Well, let's see what other questions I have for you. What do you plan to do after college?
So right now I'm trying to get like an internship. I know with like my current job right now, I kind of have connections to an internship I want to do. So there's a wide range in that, but I know my end goal, I really want to do radio journalism. I want to do like podcasting, like NPR. If I don't, then maybe like working at a publication, starting from scratch, like start from the bottom and then work my way up. I remember, I think at one point when I first switched majors, I'm like, I want to be editor-in-chief. I want to be EIC. That seems like the top job in a newsroom if I get EIC, but that's like another goal in mind. But those are like the only two things I'm thinking of as far as my future at the moment.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Taylor.
You're welcome. Yay, we're done.
And there you have it. My interview with Taylor was eye-opening. I learned so much about her, and most importantly, I learned how to stop seeking validation from others and starting to count on myself. Me and Taylor had so much in common. From switching from medicine to writing, that is a whole 180. Also, seeking validation from other family members and finding time to write and be creative. Also, learning how to keep a self-care routine, how to budget. What is life after college? Why did we choose our majors, and what made us come to UTA? I hope you had a good time listening to this audio, and I hope you got to learn so much more about Taylor. She's an amazing student, writer, and reporter, and I want to thank her for her time. Thank you for joining us, and hope to see you next week.